Hello everybody. Um, as I promised on the Facebook, I will make the video. The video came in for it was a questions. It came from Nicola Jenkins. She's been following me for 2 years about the twin flames, and actually I talked to her over the Facebook Messenger. We had a great call. Um, but the things that she says is that a lot of the twin flames they go through this, and one of the twin flames that go through this specifically with this part, the way she is, it's actually resonate with the one that I am. And I actually after the call that we had, I messaged her and it's like, hey, can I make a video? Because it's gonna be helping other people. It's to share the experience is to be eye opener for others because it's not about coaching, it's not about teaching, it's about sharing the experience. Because the way that things are working is that the information that you're going to need, somehow the universe will going to bring it over. It doesn't require forced teaching, it doesn't require forced learning. That actually it's a form of programming, and this is why we're calling that programming, is that society is programming you what to do, how to do in life. And this is why this video, I'm going to title it Twin Flame, Exile and Illumination. So because that's what the processes are going on into it. I'm going to read you what she sent it to me. Hi Leo, I hope you don't mind the messaging. I know how busy you are. I'm so happy, conflicted. There is so much information out there at the moment. Everything just gets so confusing sometimes. I'm in a stage where I'm being advised to date other people, to get over my twin flame and increase my worth. I am advised. A lot of the people, they don't understand this advising what they do with it. I'm gonna go with the stages from the beginning, and we're gonna end up in the day on the time, because advising a twin flame to get into with another relationship, and when they tell you no, it doesn't work, it doesn't even work, even if you try it, it doesn't work. I will explain why it doesn't work. When you come to that stage of illumination, that won't work. Relationship with others is not gonna work, and the soul will look in it for a place to exile from a people that are trying to control, people that are trying to tell you how to do it, what to do it, or with who to do it. Anytime when someone is approaching and try to tell you something, give you some information that you don't need it at the moment, you're basically gonna be exiled. You're gonna be disconnect from that part. So and they, I'm continuing with the messages, and that is the only way I'll get him back. But I just can't do it. There is a reason. You will find the reason later on. I will explain it to it. He is the only one in my soul. There is so much confusing advice around. I rather be on my own and true to myself than live a fake life. He's in a relationship at the moment. It's a very long story. So much pressure from everyone outside of me. It is hard to cope with sometimes. Sorry, I hope it's always good with you. So I'm gonna go to all this process of what's going on into specifically the part. I'd rather be on my own and true to myself than to live a fake life. That is a coming actually from the soul, and I will be explaining to you later on. But first of all, let's take a look at it about love. We're going to be talking about love, so let's take a look at it, the 6 types of love. First of all, the first one is eros. That is a passionate physical and emotional love based off aesthetic enjoyment, stereotype, or a romantic love. That love kind of like fades out over the time. It doesn't always stay. The male specifically always looking for something that is going to be more attractive, more things, and you might caught up your husband or you caught up your lover turning around and just like, oh my god, look at this, and you caught it out but you don't say anything. um, the other type of love is ludus. It's a love that it's played as a game, as a sport, to conquest as many um, multiple partners at once. That is a completely different love. Um, Storge is an affectionate love that slowly develops from friendship, and it's based on similarity. This is a love that it's built over the time. You have someone with a friend, and over the time, you find so much similarity, so many things, and the love it's developed. Which is one of the pretty good loves that actually you built in, you worked on it within. Um, Pragma, a love that it's driven by the head, not by the heart. That love, it is about that when you are with the family, everything has to be pragmatic, perfect. You probably been in those houses that creating the perfect family. Everything is in a perfect spot. Everything is in a perfect place. Everything get up at the perfect time, and everything is fake. If you look at it underneath the skin, so because everything is so much under control, everything exists there. There is no. It's like a typical gray life that we're talking about in spirituality. Those are the people who get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. 7:05 they're done brushing their teeth. 7:07 they're already eating breakfast. 7:20 they're already dressed up. 7:25 they're in the car. 7:27 they're out and driving. 8 o'clock they're exactly at work, and 5 o'clock they leave in work. They come back home at whatever time that is, 6 probably, and at 7 o'clock everyone has to be on the table, and at 10 o'clock everyone has to be in the bed, and no electronics and no nothing, just a perfect world that it's all the time like that. Mania, that is obsessive love. Experience great emotional highs and lows, very possessive, and a jealous lovers. And the last one, it's agape, the one that we talk about, is selfless, altruistic love. It's based on spiritual level. It's based on a soul. Why do I read you all this? Is to understand that when we talking about the twin flames, those are the two people who actually have a connection within each other in the soul. And there was a messages that out there that when you begin within the twin flames, you always sees one number, and that number it's 1111, oneness. The journey about the twin flames, it's encoded with numbers. We've seen a lot of numbers. This is a numbers from the Bible. Okay, this is 1 Corinthians 11:11. Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man and the Lord. So what happens is a lot of the people, when they are married, they are married because of the society. They are not married because of the God part inside of them. Fully understand the God part inside of them. They haven't surrendered their soul to the universe to work on it. They have not give up their own will to control the other person. They haven't really let it go of programming others and enjoying the others. And they haven't fully trusted in the universe that things gonna be okay. Their soul is not awakened, so they get in a relationship later on. everything is twisting around, and they understand what the proper relationship is, and they are ready for the proper relationship. So what happens is now the twin flames comes in, and when the twin flame comes in, everything's just changing, because this part, it's already beginning to be active. They was asking a questions today. Dio, why would the most of the twin flames are married? The thing it is, it's merit is because you cannot make a comparison to what the love that you as a person creating compared to the love what Lord or God has been creating. So, and this is why God, when the people start looking for the for God, they built the Babylon Tower and everything. God told them, don't look at and build tower in me, for me to look in the heavens. I will split you in different tongues, I will split you in different cultures, and you're gonna have to learn how to find each other. And the messages that we have from all this is that the twin flame have to overcome everything in their path. They have to overcome sex, religion, culture, language barrier. 90% it's age. They're really different age of it, and whatever they need to learn within the journey, they are going to learn to it. But what happened within the twin flames is that the gate is open, the door is open between them, and nobody can shut that door. Nobody can shut that connection within to it. And the message for that door, it's again in the Bible. The key of house of David, I will lay on his shoulder, so he shall open, and no one shall shut. And he shall shut, that no one shall open. Isaiah 20:20. There could be a lot of different numbers, but they are those numbers. And those are the messages that twin flames getting into it. When a God opened the door between the two souls within love, that love doesn't just die, disappear, or you going somewhere. That love exists. That love is a vibration. That love is something that won't die. Doesn't matter what you do, you're trying to get a different relationship, for example, you're trying to get into the other places, it doesn't work. You cannot shut that door. The door has been opened through the spirit, and the spirit's talking to the two souls and ignites that love in the soul. And the spirit is the one who communicates with the universe, with God. You cannot just doing this. This is what it's called. It's divine thing. This is a divine love that a lot of the people don't understand that yet. Why? Because they live in fear. They live in of not understanding. And we're gonna go through. I hope this will help you out to understand this part of this love. It's not only the Bible that's talking about the twin flames. Say, this is this old Chinese folklore about the magical connection between two people that are destined to be soulmates, called the red string of fate. The two people connected by the red thread are destined lovers. Regardless of time, place, or circumstances, this magical cord may stretch or tangle but never break. This myth is so similar to the Western concept of soulmates. Do you ever wonder who is tied to the end of your thread? The way you know it's that it's got these vibrations inside of the soul, and those vibrations in the soul, it's constantly connect you to that person. And you might be not 24/7 exercise this connection, but there is a moments when that connection it gets too strong, and you learning to that connection the things that's going on through the other person. And For a lot of us, it's very hard even to explain or even to work on it through this connection. But that is two cell phones, and you're talking on a cell phone, and the signal from the one cell phone goes to the tower, and from the tower goes to the other cell phone. This connection it's similar, but instead of going into a tower, this thing it goes through the spirit, to the soul. The soul is your phone, and the vibrations between them, it's the one that information goes in and out, in and out. And most of the people that experience those vibrations, they get scared because this is something on very high level. Imagine that a normal person you get like 50 hertz, which is average electricity, and you vibrating on UHF, which is a few megahertz, very high vibrations. And that will scare you because this is something that anytime you see this person, there's something going on with you. But that connection, it can be broke. Doesn't matter what you try. I tried it quite a few times, and I finally, after the exile, I understood that it cannot be broken. It is what it is. Here's why. Anytime when someone has said to me, she hurt you, but I love her, that was the soul. She doesn't deserve you. True, but I still love her. That's the soul. It's not right. Yeah, she was married, she's pregnant. It's ever right, but the soul knows. I love her. You can do better. You can find someone who is better than her. But the soul says no, but I love her. She doesn't love you, but I love her. And that is the part of the soul that wants that soul love. It's ignited through the spirit. You can't just change it. You try, you suppress, you probably go out with somebody else, and guess what? It's still there. The soul loves that person. Doesn't matter what you do. The door was open. You and your twin flame entered that door with love, and now you have to deal with it. You're in that room, and you have to deal with it with whenever you need to deal with it. Maybe this life, maybe next life, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 5 days, maybe in 5 hours. Whatever you need to deal with it, you're going to deal with it. And this is why this connection between the two twin flames exists, that you can't be just, even if you're getting separate, you can't just go and hide. You can go and hide, and you can go and run. The runner cannot run from God. He can run through the soul connection. It doesn't happen. Doesn't matter what it needs to be done, what's going on in real life. The ego can push everything. The ego can remove everything. But the soul deep inside of it is going to be doing the one thing. I love her. So the evolution begins. You get ignited in the soul, you begin your evolution, and the more you resist, the more pain you have. Those are the very hot vibes inside of you, the anger, the aggravations. And once that resistance goes away, then you begin to change, you begin to evolve. And that resistance is when you begin to listen your soul. Why is it so important to listen your soul though? It's important to listen the soul because that is the directions from the divine. The spirit's talking to your soul. And if you don't listen your soul, how would you understand what's going on? You don't. For example, people ask me, well, Dio, how would I know when to listen my soul? You see, for example, a little kitten. There it's on the street, wet, dirty, but it comes to you and crying, and you just look at that little kitty. for a second, and the ego is like, oh my god, look at that dirty kitten. Oh gosh, ooh, yuck. I don't want to touch it. But the soul inside of it, like, you can take it. You can go. You have a little jacket. You can put it in there. You can bring it at home. You can wash the kitten. You can give it a bath. You can feed it. You can wash your jacket. And that kitten can be a great companion to you. So you hear those two things at the same time. Who are you going to listen to it? And your choices when you are beginning it in a twin flame is that when you're suppressing the soul, that part of the soul begins very high, very quick, and a very high vibrations inside. And when you're resisting on it, you're resisting, the voice comes louder and louder, and then you accept what you need to do, and everything goes away, and you're like, okay. The next time it keeps repeating, the next time keeps repeating it, you begin like so used to it that you automatically listen that voice of the soul, what it's telling you to do, how to do the right things. Like for example, other people hurting you or humiliating you, or they're silent to you, or they want to let go, they don't want to have nothing to do with you. The soul is like, don't worry about it. Let them go. They have to find themselves. And this is why a lot of the reason of the separations within a twin flame, the love is actually let it go to the person, so the person can find himself. When they find themselves, then they find you there. For example, I find in her inside of me, and I cannot take her away from that part. So and you're beginning to understand this part. I post that quote so many times. I love so many with my body, mind, and ego, but my soul loves only you. And that is the part when you, for example, me as an example, I went through a different soul connection so I can learn the things that I needed to learn. And this is why I really understood this part. Doesn't matter what I try to do, doesn't matter what I begin to do of it, the love for her was still there. The other people feel the love inside of me for her. Doesn't matter what's going on, doesn't matter how I went through, doesn't matter what's the case. Just is something that we cannot fight. You cannot fight a love that it's already pre-made. You can find everything else you want in this world, but you cannot fight love. Especially when a love is so true, and especially love that it's in the soul. So, here is the lot of problem about the twin flames. You're already out there, probably a few years like me within the twin flames. You tell your story to everybody. You're out in the open. You say about the twin flames. You're not hiding. You're not doing anything. That you are you. And there is a people who comes in, like for example, is a people at work that tells me, Dio, you're gonna find another one. Dio, no, listen, hey, Dio, you find the one that she's gonna be, and everything's gonna be fine. They don't understand the part that when your soul loves someone, your soul loves only that one. And exile comes in and kicks in because you want to exile from everything. Everybody that wants to come to you and tell you what to do within their twin flame journey, they actually stand in the way of the soul, and the soul is automatically rejecting everything that does not resonate with you. Relatives, parents, friends, co-workers, everyone, they're trying to tell you or steering you, your life is not going to work anymore. And it's not working because you used to be programmed and teaching and told from others how to do it. Now, since you have this awakened soul inside of you, the soul is the one who's teaching you how to do it. And everything else that you know as life will not resonate. This is the part, the exile, it's the part when you begin completely to lose your old life. Exile is not abandonment of others, but the exit from the programming of the society about your soul. You don't abandon those people. I mean, I don't go and I'm not going to talk to that guy anymore. He completely tells me that I have to go and find another woman. No. I do this so I can prevent this part of programming. They can say whatever they want to say to me. The soul is going to tell me what to do, what I need to do. And that is going to be a completely different story. For example, for the question that was asked right now that comes into it, that she had a lot of pressures from relatives to get ahead and find somebody else. But her soul wants him. Her soul only resonates with him. And here is the part of this illumination, it's that the soul, it's honoring that love. It doesn't matter what's going on, the soul is just honoring it. And that is the part of the right love. And there is a lot of pain that is go on to it, but the pain is in the body because the body struggle for it. The suffering is in the ego because not everything goes the way the ego wants to go through it. But the love is inside of the soul, and the love is overcoming the ego. So is the pain in the body. And this is how you're healing. While you're in exile, you're healing the pain causing from your twin flame or the people that been involved in your twin flame. Or, for example, the question that was asked is that he's in a relationship at the moment. And the soul, it comes in. The soul kicks in, is like, it's okay. He needs that experience. He needs to understand what proper love is. Maybe he has to be with that partner. Like, maybe she has to go through the relationship with her husband. Maybe she needs to understand what that is, it's real love. Maybe only then she needs to figure it out, that part. I don't have to teach her. The soul inside of her has got to teach her. The spirit that connect me and her has to teach her. He's got to talk to her, not me. And that was a part of the exile illumination you do, is that you illuminate in yourself that you need to stop coaching, teaching, or using the connection with your twin flame to tell them what they need or what they must do. That is the part, the leftover of the ego, that's going to go away. That is the last part of the ego you actually going to remove from it. Because the ego wants to control, the ego wants to possess, the ego wants others to react for our own benefit. But you don't have to be that with love. So you can tell the people how they have to love you or why they have to love you. So the soul is understand this part, and specifically in her, she knows that her soul loves only him, like I knew my soul only loves her. And very big part. Honesty in soul is the greatest gift you can give to your own self. And when I talked to her over the phone, I talk about my honesty in soul, that I stopped looking for another woman. I stopped. I finally gave up of being in a relationship just because I need to be in a relationship. I begin to be honest in the soul. The exile led to that elimination of the soul. That it is what it is. Probably it's gonna be okay to live without her, or if yeah, I can live with her. That is to be up to her. But I cannot put myself in another relationship. Why? Because that honesty that exists in a soul. What I mean this honesty in a soul, the honesty is being that if I get up, I'll go in a relationship with someone, but I'm still in love with my twin flame deep inside of me within the soul, then I'm not honest to that person that's going to live with me. I don't believe anymore there's going to be a woman that she's going to live with me that she knows I'm in love with somebody else, or be in a bed with me when she knows that I have desire to be in a bed with somebody else, or build a family with me when I want to build a family with somebody else. And the part is that that honesty of it is that, as she stated, I prefer to be on my own to honor my soul. I prefer to be also on my own compared to bring another person and pretend to like nothing happened, to forget my twin flame, which is impossible, or to break the connection within to it. And that is the part of twin flame illumination that comes in, is that you honor everything right now what's going on with you. You honor with your soul to the rest of your life. The exile, it's the cutting cord with the ego. It's the cutting cord with programming. It's the cutting cord with the society. Everyone that stands on your way of you following your journey as a soul. And that honesty, it's the last thing you illuminate yourself with. You to be living your truth. You to be honest to your own self. And that is a gift that you understand when you illuminate yourself. And it's going to bring you some peace. It's going to bring you peace. You're going to be feel much better within to it. And that will help you to live better. I know a lot of the people, it's like will deal what's going to happen. It's not my job what's going to happen. This journey has been written a long time ago. This journey that was created 4 years ago, that I begin to be as an awakened soul, it led me so fast to things that I never imagined. I knew things that I never imagined. I understand things that I never imagined. It made me a better person. And I'm okay with it. And I am happy with it. But for the other people, for them, I have to live according to their visions about me. The vision about me, it's coming from soul. And I have to obey my own soul, not somebody else's point of view, that they look at my life through their prism of vision about me. That is their prism, not my soul. And the soul is going to honor this part. The soul understands that the only thing he needs to do is listen to the spirit, because the spirit is the connection to the universe, to God. And the spirit says one thing to the soul: be love. Whatever is going on, be love, be love, be love. And you cannot teach your twin flame. Your twin flame is going to be taught by the spirit. If they stay in their ego and they're trying to fix their material life, universe knows what is to do with them, not you. They have that part of the soul inside of them. They have the spirit that's going to be talking to them, and they have the universe to arrange the things for them. Because one way or another, to the twin flames that they've been united, it comes to the part that somehow, some way, everything was rearranged so they can lead to the point to want to each other again after they understand everything. But that is the illumination that you need to understand as a twin flame. You triggering the divine time. Your illumination process, that you stop interfering, stop warning, stop needing, completely stop. You give everything into the spirit and the universe to fix your problem with your twin. You have no more desire to control the journey. You right now float within the journey with peace and with understanding. And the one thing that is always been and telling you to is to be love. So be love. Thank you so much.